What is Coyote? Coyote stands for Call Up Your Old-Tired Ethics. It was created by Margot St. James in 1979. And we relaunched the Rhode Island chapter of Coyote in November of 2009 when they decided to criminalize us because we were criminalized before then. So what Coyote doesn't do, Coyote does not teach anyone how to be a sex worker. We don't facilitate or profit off anyone's labor, and we don't even ask sex workers for donations. And what we do is we advocate for policies that promote health and safety of people involved in the sex industry. We provide education to universities, legislature, organization, and we testify in legislature committees. Coyote also provides support for sex workers in crisis. Many who are victims of violence, sexual assault, and state-sponsored violence. Not only do the police sexually assault and arrest them, but they seize their money and their phones and they release them from jail. A lot of times the women are in a strange city with nothing. So we work closely with SWAP USA. We answer their phone line, we get referrals from them, and we also work really closely with SWAP Behind Bars. SWAP Behind Bars sends a newsletter out to 1,000 incarcerated sex workers every month. We support incarcerated sex workers through a pen pal program, a book program, we provide GED books, and we provide several correspondence paralegal courses a year. We also act as case managers when they're being released if they don't have anywhere to go and support to find them a halfway house. We send them a $100 gift card the day they get out, and if they have no family or friends, we'll hook them up with a cell phone for 90 days because we understand that without a cell phone, you can't get food stamps, you can't get a job, you can't do anything. And we know if we don't support them, that they're going back to jail. So this is about breaking that cycle. As a matter of fact, me and Samantha, my outreach coordinator, sent out 100 Christmas cards last week. So, another thing we also do is we have a lot of youth now. Now we have these safe harbor laws that say youth can't be arrested for prostitution. And we find out a lot of youth are still arrested. Now we can't interact with them because no one will tell you what happened to a victim afterwards. But minors in the sex industry are labeled as domestic sex trafficking victims by state and federal law. And we totally agree, minors shouldn't be in the sex industry. But we saw that the state has utterly failed our youth. Rhode Island last year, we found out we had 320 unlicensed foster homes. So I started to get a clue that they didn't really care about the kids. But it's a great campaign, save the children. So, okay. So some of the things that we have done, I want to go back to some of our youth. So we're now seeing a huge increase of 18 and 19-year-old girls being charged with sex trafficking, and they're getting 6, 9 years in prison, lifetime sex offender, and they're not the right kind of victims, so the trafficking NGOs don't want to help them. And the sex workers do. A lot of times we're getting these sentences vacated, getting released on probation. We've got a 19-year-old in Ohio, Hope, who was under the control of a violent pimp, and 2 weeks after she turned 18, they arrested her for sex trafficking. We're having a Facebook chat for 15 years. So she's got 6 years, lifetime probation, and a sex offender registry. And how do we think Hope's life's going to turn out? So we found trafficking NGOs don't want to deal with people who are the right kind of victims. But we've made some great strides in our lives. In 2017, we've had legislation introduced in Hawaii, Alaska, and New Hampshire. And we crowdfunded for 2 years for Esport versus Gayson. It's a constitutional challenge in California Court, 9th District Court of Appeals. And it's very much like Lawrence versus Texas. This is going to expand sexual privacy rights for adults. And keep in mind, when we talk about decriminalization with adults, trafficking, kidnapping, raping, abusing, exploiting people, we're all still illegal. So, I want to talk about some of the services that Coyote has. We do condom distribution. We have these big dispensers. If any organization wants one, we can hook you up and give you as many free condoms and supplies as you need. We also have a clean needle exchange program, Narcan kits available, and I'm certified to do HIV and Hep C testing. You'll be hearing from Samantha, our outreach coordinator, soon. And we also do outreach to street-based workers and homeless populations. We have hygiene kits and tampons to hand out to the women. And we're currently trying to raise money to have a drop-in center that's run by sex workers and former sex workers for sex workers. We have no paid staff. Our office is in my apartment. But I have some fabulous volunteers and unpaid interns that I'm so utterly grateful for.